Welcome back. We're discussing Linen, this book by Sheryl Sandberg that touches on women finding their place in corporate circles. I think we have laid the foundation in part one. We want to see whether this is in actual fact, a fact in Kenya corporate circles. So Whitney, I do not know what your experience has been. You said in your introduction, you're now starting to grow and get there, but do you have any experience you could share?
Well, if I could lean towards what I read in the book,
Yes.
I believe a lot of what she says is quite relevant, especially in Kenya.
Irrelevant.
Relevant.
Relevant. Okay.
And especially when you're a young person, and by young I mean 25 and under, trying to move up. Because you'll find in situations where you go to interviews and they want to know how old are you. And how will you being 25 translate to you managing someone who's 30 and someone who's 40? And in the beginning, Sheryl says that she's embarrassed that in regards to the story of having the toilets at the front of the building, that she had to realize this when she was at the top, in position. So I feel like when she talks about that, it relates to a lot of what we do. We wait to believe in ourselves when we are important, when we get up there, yeah? And we think that I can go to a meeting, but I can only speak when I'm important, when it matters, right? So we end up holding back until the time when I will be a manager, I will be a director. And this is something that I'm seeing, especially where I work now, because my director is 30 years old. She's not worked in, I would say, like many organizations, but if you see small things about her and relate them to the book, she has beat all that. But she's not beat them by working so hard, it's how she thinks. So back to what the book says, I believe moving up is more of a strategy and a very smart game. Yeah. So that has been my experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you say that we usually wait for us to get somewhere to start to speak, is it a confidence problem? Is it an esteem problem? What is it? What do you think holds women back here?
Well, it's a little bit of low self-esteem, low self-value, I would say, and also more of not seeing a lot of people being in those positions.
So
because,
timid.
Yes.
So we are timid, I think.
A lot, I would say that a lot, because, for example, if I'm not sure I would do this show, and then I come here and I say something that does not work well with everyone else, where will my first reaction be towards to keep quiet, not say anything? Like, I'm not sure, maybe I'm not skilled enough to do this, and that makes me hold back. And then also, if I've not seen enough people in leadership, I don't know where to go. I don't know where to start. So it's pretty much trial and error.
Yeah.
And that definitely doesn't give me a lot of confidence. I have to watch YouTube videos, I have to read books, I have to pray, all that, just to have confidence.
Whitney's addressing something that was said here about like confidence starting like with, she said that the girls don't raise their hand in class.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I know it used to be that way, because like when I was like in primary school, I'm sorry, I was one of the people who was like teacher.
And sometimes, could not stop you.
Yeah, yeah, and sometimes even teachers would just say, like, Mochama, no, just put your hand down, or no, you don't try to answer that.
Yeah.
But I would feel sort of like, and I would tell my mother I was told that, and say, no, you make sure you put your hand up if you know the answer. So, you become.
So your mother would encourage you to be you.
Yes, the teacher might discourage me, but I would say, but I know the answer.
Yeah.
So and you feel confident.
Yes.
You don't feel like, you have something to say.
Yeah.
Especially, of course, if you have studied.
Yeah.
It helps. I was very quiet in chemistry classes in later years. But, but I've seen that changing, because I'm in an organization called PEN. Sometimes we go around schools, like to open pen clubs. And there's something I'm really worried about, and this is not something I've seen once or twice, it's over and over again. I'm getting to places where boys are very quiet these days. Like in primary schools, you're like, hey, and it's the girls who are just talking, they're the ones approaching you. You're like, we'll read the poems, it's the girls coming up. And you know, first you might think it's a school, but I've seen it so over the last like 7 years, over and over again till I feel worried. I'm actually like, there's something happening, like that earthquake. There's something happening to the boy child. It's not like a joke the way we are just saying.
So, yeah.
I don't know why those boys, until I even have started saying, you know, Zamani people be told, why are you like a girl? Like, why are you shy like a girl? But you can't say it now. Ironically, one colleague said it and we really laughed because he said, why are you boys shy like girls? And I was like, but the girls are not shy.
Girls are not shy.
So it's an oxymoron.
Yes. So,
Yeah, but that thing is starting to happen, and it's, for me, it's something.
So, Janet, do you think maybe what Tony's alluding to has everything to do with all these empowerment messages, talks, you name it, workshops where women are being told, get out of that shell? I mean, everywhere you look, it's about the woman, the girl child.
Yeah.
And then maybe we don't have voices for the boy child.
Yeah, I think, unfortunately, yes, I think the pendulum has swung very far the other way.
Yeah.
In that women have found ways to congregate and encourage each other and build circles where they very much encourage each other. And yes, I think the girls have received the message.
Yeah.
But somewhere along the way, I think we assumed that the boys were fine and that the structures were male supporting males and that they'd be fine.
Yeah.
But it seems like, the pendulum
Something's
has
shifted,
swung.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel like men do not consume messages as fast as women do. And their interest towards the things that drive us towards empowerment and, you know, becoming better, becoming hotter, men don't really chase that. For example, if today me and you set up a conference to talk about be a better you, and then you did one for men and I did one for women, best believe mine would be full.
We'll pack up,
and
yeah.
yours would not really. Even just moving down to our households, the men we date, telling him, you know what, I got this amazing book, it's called Lean In, it's for women, but I believe you can read it and relate it to you.
Yeah.
How many would do that?
Girl. Yeah.
They would tell their boys, you
Yeah.
know,
But I'm
my
a book
girlfriend,
person.
Yeah.
she wants me to read this crazy book. I
Yeah.
think, no, I'm not seeing her this weekend. Right
Can
now,
a woman
it's
have
no.
it all, Whitney?
Can a woman have it?
I wish I could.
Yeah.
I wish I could.
You know, family that's running well, business, corporate peace,
Unfortunately,
peace with your in-laws. Is it possible?
I have not seen that. I see it with Beyonce and I wonder if it's reality.
She's just getting back to a normal family life, you know what I
That's
mean?
how it seems, you know. That's how it seems when you look at it from the outside. I mean, TMZ will say she's been cheated on, but her family is still together, no?
Yeah, but okay, now we're going to Beyonce's story.
No, I'm just using
That's
it
because-
as, I'm just, no.
That Beyonce ends up in every female conversation. It's
Because-
bizarre.
Because Beyonce is our
embodiment
Madonna.
of that.
But there's just one Beyonce, and it happens. We are in a world of 7 billion. There'll be somebody whose life
about
is
Sheryl.
perfect.
Let's talk about
Yes,
Sheryl.
yes.
She says that we cannot have it all.
Who says?
Sheryl says that.
Yeah,
we
she says
cannot
that.
have
But
it all.
going to the Beyonce conversation, she also didn't have it all. I mean, it's their own admission that they were going through a tough time in their marriage.
Yeah.
You get? So, and they taught the world that you can still go through this and still stick it out and not walk. So she leaned in a way. You know, she
leaned
saved her
into her
marriage.
marriage.
Yeah, she
But
leaned
she
into her
lived
marriage.
to a multi-millionaire is like 4 times richer than her, and they're an industry,
had to
and they're a
go.
brand, and that's a brand. That's a global brand. Right now, it's $1 billion
Look,
brand.
she leaned in
Yeah,
and
so,
she
yes.
multiplied her family. Like the family is grown, okay? So she's healing
Yes.
herself and her family, which is a beautiful thing. You don't have to give up when something is not working.
Yes.
Okay, so that's the lesson I guess she teaches Whitney and her friends and all of us, I think, yeah.
Sometimes not everything will balance out. You
Yeah.
have to focus on one thing at a particular time.
Yeah.
But Sheryl says in one point of her book that when your options are open, don't try to close them.
Yes.
So work with whatever you have also
Yes.
until you have to make one decision and
You're
focus
right.
on one thing.
You're right.
Do you think it's women wanting like everything to be perfect.
Yes, women
Yes,
have that
they have
thing.
that thing because
Yeah.
you'll never hear somebody will say, yeah, when I grow up, it's rare to hear a man saying those phrases. They betray something. They say, when I grow up, I want to be Catherine, for instance. Somebody else says things that was an old level. They say, I'm not at that level anymore. But again, you'll find ever even successful. Yeah, if he was hanging out with friends, maybe he's changed the circle, but he'll still be eating yam chom and drinking his expensive whiskey. Yeah, maybe he used to drink very bad gin, but still hanging out with the friends. They say, guys, the same things just sort of keep you happy for an entire lifetime, like from when you're 20 till 70. Yeah, you're just okay. Yeah, yeah, but women are like, no, I've changed. It's almost like, oh, now I'm 30, this has to happen. Then when I'm 40, this will be happening. And I think women make themselves very unhappy.
No, that's
in
how we
this.
are wired.
Oh,
We are wired to care, we are wired to
yes.
nurture, we are wired to be planners.
Yes.
Yeah, so whether you're planning your slay queening or you're
Yes.
planning how to break the glass ceiling,
Okay.
it's all a plan.
That's beautiful poetry. Whether you're planning your slay queenie or how to break the glass ceiling.
I've never heard of that. That's very interesting.
That is great.
I
Yes,
think that
yes.
we are
Yes,
wired.
yes.
We are wired by. We were, told by our mothers that we could do it. We the glass ceiling is not here; it's here, and so we have been taught from very early to reach and reach and reach for more and reach for more. So yes, maybe it is making us very miserable.
Yeah.
But
Because
that,
we're running
yes,
after it.
Yes.
we are chasing after.
And there's a word I hear a lot with women. It's not that men are strained, but you hear women using the word stress a lot.
Yeah.
I keep hearing, like, I'm so stressed, and again, I'm stressed, and you're just like, okay.
And you know what that breeds as well?
Yes.
Besides the stress, women fighting each other.
Okay.
I
Yes.
think it's one of our biggest, there's a word, it will come to me.
Vulnerability.
No, it's not even a vulnerability, it's kitu kibaya tu,
Yes,
It's a
yeah.
weakness that we have.
Sometimes Kiswahili is a
It's
best way to express, yeah, you get it.
Because, we're here, it's already difficult enough to get appointed as a board of directors, for a company, a big conglomerate. It's difficult enough to break that ceiling. And, you have kids at home, you have to go back to work after 3 months. All of those things are really difficult. You have to deal with a husband who's maybe not even faithful. And then as you're trying to just make it work, a woman somewhere is not happy with that. It's not happy with that. They have to just pull you down.
Yes.
And whether it's gossip, the strife, the vindictiveness, the vendetta, they have to just create this thing about you that has people look at you differently, so that whatever narrative someone has of you is totally changed, it's defiled. Why do women fight each other, Janet?
Unfortunately, we do have to deal with. I had a boss who was in turn supportive and in turn not supportive. I mean, she would, encourage me to reach for things, but at the same time, on another level, tell me, you're a bit too ambitious. So, I mean, I think women project their own insecurities. A younger woman who is who's very ambitious, can make an older woman feel insecure. Exactly, she can make her feel insecure, especially if she's achieving things faster than that older woman did.
Yeah.
So, there's a way in which, I mean, is that human? Maybe men do the same thing, maybe that's
Do men do that?
human also.
Do you pull each other down?
Not really, not particularly, because men are very selfish. Very few men spend a lot of time thinking about other guys. Guys are
Yet they
just
mentor each other.
Yes.
Yet men
yeah.
mentor each other.
Guys like each other sometimes.
Right.
You're like, this is a nice guy. They remind that ego. It reminds you of yourself. And I was in a school where, when we were in Stared, there was a guy called Griffin who used to tell us, this director. He used to call the person who's number one and last in class, like in the entire form. Then you tell the number one, do you want to stay where you are? Whoever it is, Eric Mwangi, for example. Do you want to stay where you are, Eric? Eric Mwangi would say yes. And he'd say, just keep working, because the only way you can go is down. Then you'd say, the person who's last, do you want to go up? He'd say yes. Say, keep working, because the only way you can go is up. Then you'd say, and you'd say, and whoever is like number 101, because you'd be like 200 boys. You'd say, if you're number 101, you are just there in the middle. You'd say, just think about yourself, because you have latitude up and down. And no one will ever remember you know, when you finish this school, you would say, yeah, you'll be a joke. People will, like, now I'm quoting that again, like Eric. Yeah, and they show, I won't quote number last, but I can remember the people who right at the bottom. That's it, just focus on your own life.
Yeah.
Like, be the best you can be at whatever you're doing. Yeah. And I think a lot of men somewhere have that. So you won't be thinking, you know, like
About
hanging
pulling down
around
your fellow guy.
thinking, oh yeah, why isn't my book selling as well as like a friend? Because Zulus. Yeah. You know, why isn't it?
Yeah.
Because you're thinking about yourself and your abilities.
Yeah.
Your own milestone.
Yeah,
So you're on your lane, you're focused.
Yes.
But a woman will be looking at Janet going up like, what's Janet doing? Kwani, why her? What's going on?
No, I don't want to generalize, because there have been very supportive women in my own life who have encouraged me, who have mentored me, who have coached me. I just wanted to come back to your point about can women have it all? I just want to cite the example of Indra Nui, who's the CEO of Pepsi Cola. She's just left. I think just stepped down from the leadership position at Pepsi Cola. And I watched an interview where she said she just very point blank said in a very unfeminist way, it is not possible to have it all unless you have some support. And how she got around, she said she had to set up systems in her life where people around her support staff, were helping her parent her children because she was working very long hours. And you know, one of the things that Sheryl Sandbergl talks about is, you know, make your partner, make your husband or your partner your ally in the workplace, at home, get him to help you. That's not necessarily an option if your husband is not that way inclined, or if you don't have a husband, you don't have a partner. You know, there are many corporate women. Not necessarily cook, but just do what he can do. So
like
maybe
if you're working late, if the wife is working late, then the hubby can come in early, just take care of the kids, just
make sure the kids have done their homework, or you know, just be helpful. Just
be helpful.
Because many times men don't help because they're not asked to help. You know, they're not asked to engage, or they do engage and then they're criticized so much that they just give up. They're like, just let her do it the way she wants to do it.
Important point in this book that I really should. For me, it's a mystery as a man, but I agreed with that totally.
What?
When she mentioned that thing of mentor me, like the part she says, like she really didn't like that question. Like people say, like mentor me, like when she goes.
With her 100%.
Yes. And I agreed with that,
that
because I find
is very annoying.
It's a very
annoying conversation.
Bizarre, it's very strange.
It's stressful, and you put stress on the person. They already have 1,000 things to do, and you're giving them one more job in life.
What's this mentor me thing?
Yeah.
I mean, I agreed with her. Somebody hasn't even invested in themselves.
Yes.
So what they are telling me is, put me on a fast and easy track.
Fastest track
to success.
Yes.
I mean, I have heard sort of younger people, you know, kind of millennials say, you know, that it is the job of older generations to just help them, tell them what to do. I think he has expressed himself very badly, but I think really what he means is, you know, just tell me what to do. I want to do it, but I don't know how.
Yeah, but mentorship has to be birthed for me from a place of relationship.
Yeah.
You can't just sit and tell me, mentor me. Who are you?
Yeah. I have other things.
Where are you going? Why did you think that this relationship, this mentorship thing can work?
Catherine, imagine someone walking into your corner office, and a lot of these millennials have that guts, walking into your corner office. Yeah, they're there, and then they're like, I admire you so much.
Yeah,
so it's
be
like
my
a
mentor.
ticket. It's as if you should feel so praised. Like,
I hate that statement,
and you're like,
by
you
the
know,
way.
like, excuse
Oh my God,
Yeah.
it has fakery all over it.
Yes.
I admire you so much. What?
So mentor me.
Yeah, so mentor me.
They're expressing themselves badly because communication is also
They
not
do
taught
know
to
better,
kids
yeah.
at a younger. Something is very broken in schools these days.
Yeah.
They're not taught to be respectful. Something is
There's
not
something
working.
off.
But what they're saying.
No, they're not being beaten.
What,
That's an
maybe,
conversation.
but what they're saying at the base is they're saying, help me.
Yeah.
Teach me how to navigate the space. You
My
know?
advice to them would be, whomever you need mentorship from, observe their life. Get to know who they are, what they do, how they got there. Like, get my story, okay? Understand the struggles. If you can read, wherever you can find my story, find it. By the time you're coming to me, you're saying, look, there's a part of your life that would really help me because either I grew up that way or I had such parents or I'm in the same industry and I want to do exactly what you're doing. So I would appreciate the opportunity to learn from you. But the word mentor, it has a cost, and cost doesn't mean money. Are you willing to be corrected, to be guided? Are you willing to be rebuked? So it's not just mentor me, like open for me this door. That's not what mentorship is, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love the way you have put it because, I mean, like, even the person you're saying, do they have that time? You're not a school.
Yes.
School, what wamelipa school fees, wametuma goats, na nini. That's where you should also have learned a lot of these things.
Yeah.
You want somebody who's more of a ready product, even, you know,
Anyway.
a bit more, you know, for the push.
As we wrap it up, Whitney, why should people get this book, in your opinion?
There's one thing that we all struggle with, trying to understand if the direction we are taking in life is what will get us to success. But in the book, Sheryl says that there's no one road that will lead you to where you want to go. So just do your best. There's no set of rules. So we should stop looking for rules, a one-way, one-fits-all kind of approach.
Yes.
So let's just do our best and see what comes out of it.
I like that.
Yeah.
Tony?
I'm torn because I like a lot of what she says.
Yes.
Yeah. So but it's also rules without rules. Yeah. So to me, this book is like both. It's got lessons for Africa and African corporate women, but at the same time, it's also a very particular type of white woman in America.
Yes.
She has a peculiarity. It's those people who say things like, look, mama, look what they done to my hair. I think I'll have to go back to their salon. Like that. So,
The
it's
privileged
good.
white woman.
Yes.
More or less.
And if you have ever met people like this, like in a workshop or something, and I have, these are, you know, like a woman from Cincinnati. That's what I'll say.
Yeah.
I call them Cincin women. There's a big story behind
Yeah.
that.
Do you not feel that there's some points of commonality between her story, and I know that she's a very privileged white woman, let's just say it, but a woman in a similar position in an African context perhaps, who is able to hire help, who is able to navigate in high spaces. Do you not see some similarities?
You should tell us which woman that is.
That's the richest woman in Africa. If you read her story, and you know, she also has been wealthy for a very long time, but their stories are very different.
Okay.
Like her struggles were with the political setup. Nobody wanted her to be the oil tycoon she is. Death threats. You know, she didn't have to go through all of that. Through
Our own father, isn't she the one whose dad was already involved in a
what?
very corrupt Nigerian
No,
woman,
you
yes?
see now you have issues with Nigerian. We've already identified that. But anyway, Janet, why should people get this book?
There's a very important point that Sheryl makes towards the end of the book, where she says that in as far as we women, I think globally, you know, we must recognize that women have come a long way. We've come a very, very long way, and there's still a long ways to go. But there can be no true equality. This is what she says in the book. There will never be true equality until women receive help around their responsibilities at home, whether they have children or not. Okay, you don't have to be you don't have to be a mother to be a valid woman, but whether they have children or not, and unless they get some help around their domestic lives, from the men in their lives, from other people in their lives, they will never be able to aspire to those high levels of business. Similarly, she says in the book, until men are not disrespected, for offering that help, until men are validated for being helpful in the home, again, there will be no equality. That's one of the very strong points that she makes.
Yeah.
Men sometimes will recoil from helping in the home because their boys will be like, what are you doing? What are you doing? You know, so until that mentality passes,
Yes.
it's that equality we are looking for will remain a mirage.
We'll
so
keep
I think
looking for it.
for that idea alone, I think this is a great book to get. Also for younger women who are just now getting into the world of work, the lessons that she teaches about speaking up and being present and active at the table, those are very valuable lessons.
Speaking your truth.
Yes.
Yes. The book is a yes for me. Whitney, is it a yeah or a nay?
A definite yay.
Tony, you're
If
torn.
you find it on the street, you can buy it. But,
Oh, no, no.
Janet?
yeah,
Definite yes. Definite
Okay,
yes.
so lean-in, Sheryl has our vote from the women. Tony is a prop, like I said at the start of the show. Thank you for watching. Have a pleasant Monday.